All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to basically define our potential boundary. So when we put in our site improvement, we basically tell it that this area all in through here is this concrete pavement section, and this over here is our asphalt pavement, and then this over here is our dumpster slab. We can set up our materials and our thicknesses for each one of these sections, okay, and then even our sod and our sidewalk, we can also define that. So we need to make these boundaries, and the way Business Center does it is under the categorize section. So I'm going to go to categorize, and under my design, where I've put in my line work, I need to define which layers are potential boundaries. So I know my building footprint is. I know that my curb for both the 3D are. The dumpster pad is going to be a boundary because that's a boundary. My brake line isn't. The reason my brake line isn't is because I don't want it to keep, if I put a site improvement here and this line is defined as a boundary, it won't, I'll have to put another one in here, and I don't want that. So this isn't a hard edge. It is not a defined boundary, so I'm not going to use that one. My contours, also, I don't want my contours to be used as a boundary, so I'm not going to select that one. My gutter edge is, though, because my gutter edge, you can see my asphalt's going up to the gutter, so I'm going to use that one. My propane area is, all right, now that we just drew this line in here, we didn't close it, but we do have curb that runs along the back, and that will define the other part of that boundary. Our 3D sidewalk definitely is, and the pump island in this case isn't, because we're just using the same concrete all the way through. So I'm not going to use this line work here on the pump island for a potential boundary. So by selecting them and checking them down here, I'm going to pick on this checkbox. And what that does, you can see that it puts a check mark next to those, and that check mark means that those areas are defined as potential boundaries. Okay. We are going to have to do one other thing, because we're going to have to put in a line here and a line here to keep this concrete from flooding over into here. So I'm going to make another layer. We also want to close this and close this. So I'm going to make another layer of just miscellaneous edges that we can use to also define it as a potential boundary. So I'm going to show you that in the next video. So I'm good here. I'm going to hit close. And what I mean by that is, you'll see when I go to identify site regions and I select design, okay, you can see this magenta building line turn to red. So it knows the potential boundary. You can see in here, these are potential boundaries, right? So if I change this, see how it changes color? Okay. So what that's showing me is what's in red is a potential boundary. What's not highlighted isn't, which means it's flooding out in here. So I need to define these other sections. So I'll go ahead and show you that here. Again, like I said, in the next video.